The black SUV sat idling across the street from a weathered community center in New Haven, Connecticut, engine running, windows tinted dark enough to hide the man inside who hadn't moved in 20 minutes. Malik Adeyemi gripped the steering wheel like it might steady his pulse. It didn't. Through the windshield, he watched volunteers carry boxes of donated clothes through double doors propped open with a brick. Laughter spilled out, kids' voices, the smell of something cooking drifted across the parking lot. His daughter shifted in the passenger seat. Naomi was 12 now, tall for her age, with her mother's eyes and his stubborn chin. She'd been quiet the entire drive from their hotel. Now she stared at him with that look, the one that said she knew more than he wanted her to. "You getting out or just going to sit here?" Naomi asked. Malik's jaw tightened. "Give me a minute." "You've had 9 years." The words landed like a slap. He turned to look at her, but she was already scrolling through her phone, pretending she hadn't just gutted him with one sentence. Kids always knew where to cut deepest. He pushed open the car door before he could change his mind. Cold October air hit his face. His tailored wool coat, charcoal gray, expensive, the kind that announced success, suddenly felt like a costume. He crossed the street with his hands in his pockets, trying to look casual, confident, like a man who belonged here. Inside, the community center smelled like industrial cleaner and fried plantains. Folding tables lined one wall. A group of teenagers clustered around a stovetop, chopping vegetables under the supervision of a woman whose back was turned to the door. "Hey, I'm really glad you're here. Be honest. Have you eaten today? What did you have? Tell me that, your location, and the time. And if you're new, help me prove something wrong. My mother said drill stories would never reach 10,000 subscribers, but stories like this deserve to be heard. So don't leave without subscribing. It feels empty when you come in and leave without saying a word. Now, let's continue." Malik froze in the doorway. He'd rehearsed this moment 100 times, what he'd say, how he'd stand, but now his throat closed up like someone had their hands around it. The woman turned around, Iyanna Brooks, older now, hair natural and pulled back in a wrap, lines at the corners of her eyes that hadn't been there before, but the same quiet strength in her posture, the same presence that had once made a starving man feel seen without saying a word. Their eyes met across the room. For 3 full seconds, nobody moved. Then Iyanna's expression shifted. Not shock, not joy, something colder. Recognition mixed with something else Malik couldn't name. She set down the knife she'd been holding and wiped her hands on her apron, slow and deliberate, like she was buying time to decide how to react. "Can I help you?" Her voice was polite, professional, the kind of tone you'd use with a stranger asking for directions. Malik's chest tightened. She was pretending not to know him, or maybe she genuinely didn't recognize him at first. The desperate man who used to lean against her restaurant wall had been replaced by someone who looked like he owned things, buildings, businesses, futures. "Iyanna," his voice came out rough. "It's me." She tilted her head slightly, studied him like she was deciding whether to confirm or deny. One of the teenagers looked between them, sensing tension but not understanding it. "I know who you are," Iyanna said finally. No warmth, no anger either, just flat acknowledgement. Malik took a step forward. "I need to talk to you." "About what?" The question hung in the air like a challenge. "About abandoning you? About disappearing without explanation? About the promise he'd made in the rain behind her restaurant nearly a decade ago when he had nothing but hope and hunger? About..." He stopped, glanced at the teenagers watching them. "Not here." Iyanna crossed her arms. "I'm teaching a class." "I can wait." "Don't bother." The dismissal stung worse than anything she could have screamed at him. Malik opened his mouth to respond, but a voice cut through from behind him. "Dad, what's taking so long?" Naomi stood in the doorway, backpack slung over one shoulder. She looked at Iyanna, then at Malik, then back at Iyanna with the calculating awareness of a kid who'd learned to read adult tension like a survival skill. Iyanna's expression changed the moment she saw Naomi. Something softened, not toward Malik, toward the child. "You must be his daughter," Iyanna said quietly. Naomi nodded, suddenly shy in a way she never was with strangers. She's beautiful. Iyana's voice cracked just slightly on the word. She looked at Malik again, and this time there was something raw beneath the ice. She looks just like... She stopped herself, pressed her lips together, turned back to the stove. You should go, Iyana said. I have work to do. But Malik didn't move. Couldn't. Because he'd just seen it, the flicker of something that wasn't indifference, pain, old pain that had calcified into scar tissue but never fully healed. I came back, Malik said. Iyana laughed. It wasn't a happy sound. She didn't turn around, just kept stirring whatever was in the pot in front of her with sharp, controlled movements. So, she said, voice steady but lethal, are you rich now? The question gutted him. Not because it was cruel, because it was exactly what he deserved. He'd made a promise tied to money, to success, to someday. And someday had finally arrived wearing expensive clothes and driving a luxury car. But Iyana wasn't impressed. And that terrified him more than anything, because Malik had spent 9 years building a life that would make him worthy of coming back. And in 5 seconds, Iyana had shown him that worthiness was never what she'd wanted in the first place. Naomi tugged his sleeve. Dad, let's just go. But Malik couldn't leave. Not yet. Not after he'd finally worked up the courage to face the woman who'd once fed him when he had nothing. The woman he'd loved. The woman he'd abandoned. I need 5 minutes, Malik said. Please. Iyana set the spoon down, turned around, looked him dead in the eyes with an expression that said she'd already given him too much. You had 9 years of minutes, Iyana said, and you didn't use a single one. Then she walked past him toward the back office, leaving Malik standing in the middle of the community center with his daughter watching him realize that coming back might have been the easy part. Staying would be the real test. Malik's hands shook as he gripped the steering wheel in the hotel parking lot. Naomi hadn't said a word since they left the community center 30 minutes ago. She just sat there scrolling through her phone with that blank expression she wore when she was angry but didn't want to fight. He'd messed up. Again. Same pattern, different decade. You hungry? Malik asked, breaking the silence. Naomi didn't look up. Not really. We should eat something. I said I'm not hungry. The edge in her voice reminded him too much of himself at that age. All sharp corners and walls built high enough to keep everyone out. He'd taught her that, not on purpose, but kids learned what they lived. Malik pulled into a diner parking lot anyway, one of those 24-hour places with cracked vinyl booths and waitresses who'd seen every kind of human disaster walk through the door. Naomi sighed loud enough to make her point but unbuckled her seatbelt. Inside, they slid into a booth near the back. A waitress with gray roots and tired eyes dropped 2 menus on the table without asking if they needed them. Malik ordered coffee. Naomi ordered water and stared out the window like the parking lot was fascinating. You want to talk about it? Malik asked. About what? Don't play games with me, Naomi. She finally looked at him. You mean the lady who acted like you were a stranger? Or the part where you stood there like you forgot how to talk? Direct hit. His daughter had her mother's ability to find the truth and his inability to let things go. Dangerous combination. It's complicated, Malik said. Everything with you is complicated. The waitress returned with their drinks. Malik wrapped both hands around the coffee mug, even though it burned his palms. Pain helped him focus. Always had. That woman, Malik started, choosing his words carefully. She helped us a long time ago, back when things were really bad. Naomi's expression shifted slightly, curiosity breaking through the anger. How bad? Malik stared into his coffee. He'd spent years trying to bury those memories. The nights he'd gone to bed hungry so Naomi could eat, the eviction notices, the electricity getting cut off in the middle of winter. The shame that followed him like a shadow he couldn't outrun. Bad enough that I couldn't feed you some days, Malik said quietly. Bad enough that I thought about giving you up, letting someone else raise you who could actually take care of you properly. Naomi set her water glass down hard enough that it rattled. You never told me that. Wasn't something I wanted you to know. So what, that lady gave us money or something? Malik shook his head. She gave us food. Real food. Hot meals. She ran a little Caribbean takeout spot in Boston. I used to walk past it during my lunch break pretending I wasn't starving. One night she caught me leaning against the wall outside her shop, dizzy from not eating. She opened the door and asked me one question. He paused, remembering. Have you eaten today? Naomi was listening now. Really listening. I lied, Malik continued. Said yes, but she knew. She handed me a container of rice and beans and chicken. Didn't ask for money, didn't ask questions, just fed me. That became our thing. 2-3 times a week she'd feed me after closing. Eventually I told her about you. She started packing extra plates, called them leftovers, but we both knew she was making extra food just for us. The waitress came back to take their order. Malik ordered a burger he didn't want. Naomi ordered pancakes and kept her eyes on him the entire time, waiting for the rest of the story. So why'd you stop going? Naomi asked when the waitress left. There it was. The question Malik had been avoiding for 9 years. I lost my job at the warehouse, he said. Bills piled up. You got sick, needed medicine I couldn't afford. I was drowning and too proud to ask for more help, so I just stopped showing up, stopped answering her calls. I moved us to New Jersey chasing a trucking job that was supposed to fix everything. Did it? No. Made things worse for a while, but eventually I figured it out. Built something, got stable, made money. Naomi leaned back in the booth, processing. And you never called her? Never said thank you or explained where you went? Malik's throat tightened. No. That's messed up, Dad. I know. Like really messed up. I know, Naomi. His daughter shook her head, disappointed in a way that cut deeper than any anger could. So what, you just showed up today, thinking she'd be happy to see you, after 9 years of nothing? I don't know what I thought, Malik admitted. Maybe that enough time had passed, that I'd changed enough to deserve a second chance. You can't just buy your way out of this one. The words hung between them like an accusation. Naomi was right. He'd spent the last few years thinking money would solve everything. That success would erase the past, that showing up rich would make the abandonment okay somehow. But Iyana's face when she'd seen him had told a different story. She didn't care about the expensive coat or the luxury car. She cared about the years of silence, the unanswered questions, the betrayal of a man who'd promised forever and delivered nothing. Their food arrived. Malik picked at his burger. Naomi drowned her pancakes in syrup and ate with the mechanical efficiency of someone who'd learned early not to waste food. You loved her, didn't you? Naomi asked suddenly. The question caught Malik off guard. He set his burger down and looked at his daughter, really looked at her. When had she gotten so perceptive? When had she stopped being the little girl who thought he had all the answers? Yeah, Malik said. I did. Did you tell her that? Once. The night I made a promise I couldn't keep. Naomi wiped syrup off her lip with a napkin. What kind of promise? Malik hesitated. Some truths were harder to say out loud than others. I told her I'd marry her when I got rich, that I'd come back and make everything right. His daughter stared at him like he'd just confessed to a crime. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Excuse me? Dad, nobody wants to be married for money. That's not romantic. That's just sad. Out of the mouths of 12-year-olds, Malik rubbed his face with both hands, everything he'd built, everything he'd worked for. And his own daughter was calling him out for missing the entire point. I thought I was doing the right thing, Malik said. I thought if I could just get successful enough, stable enough, then I'd be worthy of her. Maybe she just wanted you to stay. The simple truth of it broke something inside him. Naomi was right. Iyana had never asked for wealth. She'd asked for presence, consistency, a man who showed up even when things were hard. And Malik had failed her in the most basic way possible. They finished eating in silence. Malik paid the bill and left a generous tip that wouldn't erase his guilt but made him feel slightly less terrible. Outside, the sun was setting. Orange and purple streaked across the sky like a painting nobody asked for, but everyone noticed. Back in the car, Naomi buckled her seatbelt and turned to face him. So what are you going to do? About what? About her. You drove all the way here. You can't just leave now. Malik started the engine but didn't put the car in gear. She made it pretty clear she doesn't want to talk to me. Because you ambushed her at work in front of a bunch of kids. That was your strategy? Show up unannounced after 9 years and expect a warm welcome? When had his daughter become the adult in this relationship? What do you suggest? Malik asked. Naomi pulled out her phone and started typing. I'm going to find out where she lives. Then you're going to write her a letter, a real one, on paper, explaining everything, and you're going to leave it at her door with flowers or something. Give her time to process before you try talking again. Since when do you know about relationship advice? Since I started watching you mess up every relationship you've ever had. The honesty stung, but Malik couldn't argue. His daughter was right. Again. He'd spent so long running from his past that he'd never learned how to face it properly. Naomi's phone buzzed. She smiled slightly. Found her address. She lives 20 minutes from here, small house near the community center. How did you... Dad, it's 2026. Everything's online. Malik pulled out of the parking lot following Naomi's directions. His heart hammered against his ribs. This was really happening. He was really going to try again, not with money or promises of someday, but with honesty, accountability, the hardest currency of all. 20 minutes later, they pulled up to a modest blue house with a chain-link fence and a small garden out front. Lights were on inside. Iana's car sat in the driveway. Malik cut the engine and sat there staring at the house like it might disappear if he looked away. You got this, Naomi said quietly. But Malik wasn't sure he did, because apologizing was easy. Living with the consequences of your choices was the part that tested you. He was about to open the car door when another vehicle pulled up behind them. A black sedan. A man got out. Mid-40s. Well-dressed, confident. He walked straight to Iana's front door like he'd done it 1,000 times before. The door opened. Iana stood there smiling. The kind of smile Malik hadn't seen in 9 years. The man leaned in, kissed her cheek. She let him. Malik's stomach dropped. He'd been too late. Again. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. The man's hand rested on the small of Iana's back as he stepped inside her house. The door closed with a soft click that echoed louder than it should have in Malik's chest. Naomi hadn't missed it either. Who's that? Malik forced himself to breathe. I don't know. Looks like a boyfriend. Don't jump to conclusions. But the evidence was right there. The easy familiarity, the way Iana's posture relaxed around him. 9 years was a long time. Of course she'd moved on. Of course she'd built a life without him. What had he expected? Let's go, Malik said, putting the car in reverse. Naomi grabbed his arm. Wait, you can't just leave. You came all this way. For what? To make her life harder? You're already here. At least leave the letter. Malik glanced at the passenger seat where a blank envelope sat. Naomi had made him stop at a drugstore on the way to buy paper and a pen. He'd scribbled a few lines while she picked out a card with flowers on it. Apology, explanation, promise to make it right. But now the words felt cheap, inadequate. The man came back out of the house a minute later carrying a box. He loaded it into his trunk and drove away. Iana watched him go from the porch, arms crossed like she was holding herself together. Now, Naomi said. Go now. Malik grabbed the envelope and stepped out before his courage failed him. The sidewalk felt uneven under his feet. Every step toward the house made his pulse race faster. Iana saw him coming halfway up the walk. Her expression shifted from relaxed to guarded in an instant. What are you doing here? She asked. No hello, no pretense. Malik held out the envelope. I wanted to explain. In writing, so you could read it when you're ready. She didn't take it. I don't need your explanations, not after 9 years. Just read it, please. Iana stared at him, really stared, like she was trying to see if the man in front of her had anything left of the one she'd known. Finally, she took the envelope but didn't open it. Who was that? Malik asked before he could stop himself. Her eyebrows shot up. None of your business. You're right. I'm sorry. Iana tucked the envelope under her arm. Why now, Malik? Why after all this time? Because success didn't fix what I broke. Because I finally realized running away doesn't make the past disappear. She shook her head slightly. You don't get to show up and rewrite history. I know, He stopped, words failing him again. Can we talk? Tomorrow? Coffee? Iana looked past him toward his car where Naomi watched from the passenger seat. Something softened in her eyes. For her, not for you. Bring her to the center tomorrow after school, 3 o'clock. Then she turned and went inside without another word. The door closed. Malik stood there for a full minute before walking back to the car. Naomi grinned when he got in. That wasn't a total disaster. Don't get excited. She only said yes because of you. Still progress. Back at the hotel, Malik couldn't sleep. He paced the room while Naomi slept soundly on the pull-out couch. Memories flooded back uninvited. The way Ayana's restaurant had smelled like home, jerk chicken sizzling, rice steaming, her laugh when he'd crack a joke about his terrible day. He'd met her during the worst winter of his life, 26 years old, single dad to a 3-year-old, wife dead from childbirth complications, 2 jobs that barely covered rent and daycare, nights cleaning offices downtown, days loading trucks at the seafood warehouse. Sleep came in stolen 20-minute chunks. One night after a double shift, he'd passed her shop. Sign said closed, but lights were on. His stomach cramped so bad he leaned against the brick wall, vision blurring. Next thing he knew, the door opened. Have you eaten today? Iana had asked. He'd lied, said yes, but she'd seen through it, handed him food in a styrofoam container. No questions, no judgment. That started everything. Twice a week, then 3 times, extra plates for Naomi. She'd never charged him, never made him feel small. One rainy night behind the restaurant, sitting on overturned milk crates, water dripping off the awning onto the pavement, he'd said it. I can't marry you like this, but when I'm rich, I'll come back and make you my wife. She'd laughed, touched his hand. I don't need rich, Malik. I need you. But he hadn't listened. Pride had won. When the warehouse cut his hours, he'd vanished. Pride too loud to admit he needed her. Now, lying in the hotel bed staring at the ceiling, Malik wondered if that promise had been love or just an excuse to leave. Morning came too fast. Naomi chattered about school while they ate breakfast. Malik dropped her off at a local middle school, promising to pick her up at 2:30. Then he spent the day wandering New Haven, coffee shops, parks, anywhere to kill time without thinking too much. 2:30 sharp, he pulled up to the school. Naomi hopped in with her backpack, excited. This is going to be good. Don't build it up. But when they arrived at the community center at 3, Iana was waiting outside with 2 other kids, 10-year-olds, one boy with braids, one girl with glasses. They eyed Naomi curiously. Naomi, this is Jaden and Kiara, Iana said. They're helping with the cooking class today. You want to join? Naomi nodded eagerly. Yeah. Inside, the kitchen buzzed with activity. Pots simmering, onions being chopped. Ayana moved between stations with quiet authority, correcting knife grips, tasting sauces, encouraging without praising too much. Malik hung back, watching. Iana with kids was something else. Patient, firm, the way she'd been with Naomi all those years ago. Naomi fit right in, chopping carrots with focus. Laughter filled the space, real laughter, not forced. For a moment, it felt like family. Then Jaden dropped a knife. It clattered across the floor. Everyone froze. Iana knelt down calmly, picked it up. Sharp things fall. Pick them up slow, always. She glanced at Malik. Their eyes met. Something passed between them. Not forgiveness. Acknowledgement. She'd seen him watching. Knew he saw her strength. Class ended. Parents picked up Jaden and Kiara. Naomi helped clean up, stacking chairs with Iana. When it was just the 3 of them, Iana turned to Naomi. You like cooking? Love it. Mom used to let me help sometimes. Iana's expression flickered. Your mom was a good teacher? The best. Silence stretched. Iana looked at Malik. Did you read the letter? He shook his head. Haven't had a chance. She pulled it from her apron pocket, unopened, held it out. Then read it, now. Malik took it, hands unsteady, tore it open right there in the kitchen. His own handwriting stared back at him. Iana, I was wrong. Every day I ran, I chose pride over love. I'm sorry, truly. Simple words, but they carried the weight of 9 years. He looked up. Iana watched him read, arms crossed, waiting. I meant every word, Malik said. Then prove it. Naomi watched them both, sensing the shift. The air felt thicker, charged. How? Malik asked. Come back tomorrow. Help with the class. No promises, no big speeches. Just show up. He nodded. I'll be here. Iana turned to leave, paused at the door. And Malik? Yeah? Don't be late. She walked out. Naomi punched his arm lightly. Told you. Progress. But as they left the center, Malik saw a car pull up across the street. The same black sedan from last night. The man got out, looked toward the center, spotted Malik and Naomi. His expression darkened. He reached for his phone. Malik's gut twisted. Who was this guy? And why did he look like he had a problem with them being here? Malik's foot hit the brake hard enough to jerk the SUV forward. The man across the street pocketed his phone and started walking toward them, shoulders squared like he had business to settle. Dad? Naomi's voice rose an octave. Stay in the car. Malik stepped out, slamming the door behind him, heart pounding. He wasn't the skinny warehouse worker anymore. Years of hard labor and gym time had built muscle under the tailored shirts, but confrontation still twisted his stomach. The man stopped 10 feet away. Mid-40s, clean shave, wedding ring glinting on his left hand. He sized Malik up with eyes that said he'd done this before. You got a problem? The man asked. Just picking up my daughter, Malik said evenly. You? The man glanced at the community center, then back at Malik. Iana doesn't need your kind of trouble. My kind? Disappearing types, showing up when it's convenient. Malik's fists clenched at his sides. You don't know me. I know enough. She told me about you. The promise. The vanishing act. Heat rushed to Malik's face. Iana had talked about him, shared their story. That meant it still mattered, still hurt. Tell her I'll be here tomorrow, Malik said. 3 o'clock. The man laughed short and sharp. She doesn't want you here. Then let her tell me that. He turned back to the car, heard footsteps behind him. The man grabbed his arm. Hey! Malik spun, shrugging him off. Don't touch me. Tension crackled, both men breathing hard. Naomi's face pressed against the passenger window, wide-eyed. Headlights cut through the dusk. Another car pulled up. Iana got out, spotting them immediately. Reggie, she called. Stop! The man, Reggie, stepped back, hands up. Iana hurried over, eyes flashing between them. What is this? She demanded. He was leaving, Reggie said. I made sure. Iana turned to Malik. Go, now. Malik held her gaze. Tomorrow. 3. She didn't respond, just watched him get in the SUV and drive away. That night, sleep wouldn't come. Malik lay in the hotel bed, staring at the ceiling fan spinning lazy circles. Naomi slept across the room, oblivious to the storm he'd just kicked up. Memories hit like waves. The last time he'd seen Iana before today. It was 2009. Rain hammered the alley behind her restaurant. They sat on milk crates, shoulders touching, her hand warm on his knee. I love you, he'd said, first time out loud. She'd smiled that smile, the one that made everything feel possible. I love you too. Then the words that changed everything. I can't marry you like this, broke, struggling, but when I'm rich, I'll come back, make you my wife properly. Her laugh had been soft. I don't care about rich, Malik. But he did. Pride demanded it. He needed to be the provider, the success story, not the single dad begging for scraps. 2 weeks later, the warehouse laid him off. Bills stacked like bricks on his chest. Naomi ran a fever that wouldn't break. He spent his last cash on medicine and eviction extensions. He stopped going to the restaurant. Pride screamed louder than hunger. His phone buzzed with Iana's texts, calls he let go to voicemail. Where are you? Everything okay? Malik, talk to me. He packed their things one night while Naomi slept, drove south to New Jersey. A trucking job ad promised steady pay, stability. The job lasted 3 months. Boss shorted his checks, partner stole his savings, license suspended after a minor accident. He slept in the truck cab with Naomi bundled in blankets, her tiny body shivering against him. Calls from Ayanna kept coming. He deleted them without listening. Each one a knife twist, easier to disappear completely. Months turned to years. New Jersey to Colorado, freight routes, odd jobs. Parenting alone hardened him. Naomi grew quiet, observant. Asked fewer questions about her mother, about why they never stayed anywhere long. Ayanna's number eventually stopped lighting up his phone. Silence settled in. He told himself it was for the best. She deserved better than his chaos. But nights in truck stops, engine idling, he'd pull up old voicemails just to hear her voice, wonder what she'd say if he called back. Now, in this New Haven hotel, regret tasted bitter. He'd run because he was ashamed of failing Naomi, failing as a man, failing Ayanna by needing her too much. Morning light filtered through cheap curtains. Naomi was already up, packing her backpack. You gonna chicken out today? No. Good, because I like her. Malik managed to smile. Me too. 3 o'clock sharp, they pulled up to the center. Reggie leaned against his car across the street, arms crossed, watching. Inside, the kitchen smelled like curry and coconut milk. Kids chopped vegetables. Ayanna stood at the stove, stirring a pot. She glanced up when they entered, nodded once. Grab an apron, she said to Naomi. To Malik. You too. He tied it on, feeling ridiculous. Broad shoulders straining the fabric. Kids giggled. Ayanna ignored him. Today, we're making rice and peas, she announced. Jaden, you handle the beans. Kiara, thyme. Naomi, coconut milk. Malik hovered awkwardly. Where do you want me? Peel onions. Don't cry. He got to work. The sharp scent burned his eyes immediately. Tears streamed down his face. Kids laughed harder. Big tough guy can't handle onions, Jaden teased. Watch and learn, Malik shot back, wiping his face on his sleeve. Ayanna watched from the corner of her eye, small smile tugging her lips. First one he'd seen directed at him. Class progressed. Chatter filled the air. Naomi bonded with the kids over dumb jokes. Malik stole glances at Ayanna, the way she moved, graceful, strong, unbroken. Dinner cooked, plates filled. They sat around a long table eating family style. Laughter, stories. For an hour it felt normal, like the past didn't exist. Then Reggie walked in, carried a stack of takeout containers. Brought extras from work. Kids cheered. Ayanna thanked him. He sat next to her, too close, hand brushing hers. Malik's fork paused midway to his mouth. Naomi noticed, kicked him under the table. After cleanup, kids left. Reggie lingered. Walk you home? He asked Ayanna. She hesitated. Looked at Malik. I'm good. Reggie frowned. You sure? Yeah. He left. Door slammed harder than necessary. Ayanna turned to Malik. You did good today. With onions? She almost smiled. With showing up. Naomi beamed, hugged Ayanna quick. See you tomorrow? Maybe. They walked out into evening chill. Malik's phone buzzed. Unknown number, he answered. Stay away from her, Reggie's voice, low, threatening, or I make problems for you. Click. Malik stared at the phone. Reggie wasn't done, and neither was the past Malik thought he'd buried. Malik's phone slipped from his hand onto the passenger seat. Naomi snatched it up before it hit the floor. Who is that? She demanded. Nobody. Liar, your face just went white. He started the engine, pulled out of the parking lot faster than he should have. Reggie's sedan tailed them for 2 blocks before turning off. Message received. Back at the hotel, Naomi wouldn't drop it. Dad, tell me. It's handled. Not if that guy is threatening you. Malik sat on the bed, rubbed his temples. Reggie, the guy from the house. Naomi's eyes widened. He called you? Yeah, said to stay away from Ayanna. That's crazy. You just helped with her cooking class. People get protective. Protective or jealous? Smart kid, too smart, Malik sighed. Both, probably. Naomi paced the small room. So what's the plan? You gonna stop going? No. Good, because she's starting to like you again. He wished. But Reggie's call changed things. Made it real. Competition, stakes. Sleep came fitful. Dreams mixed past and present, Ayanna feeding him behind the restaurant, Reggie standing in his way, Naomi crying from fever. Morning, another day at the center. Reggie waited across the street when they arrived. Didn't approach, just watched. Inside, Ayanna handed Malik a cutting board. Carrots today, small dice. He nodded. Gotta work, knife rhythm steady. Kids arrived, class started, normal on the surface. But tension hummed. Ayanna avoided his eyes. Reggie texted her 3 times during prep. She checked her phone, frowned, put it away. Lunch break. Kids ate outside. Malik cornered her at the sink. Reggie called me last night. Her hands stilled under the water. What did he say? Told me to stay away. Ayanna dried her hands, slow. He's worried about me. Worried or controlling? Neither. He cares. About you or about winning? She met his gaze. Fire there. You don't get to judge after what you did. Fair. He backed off. Just be careful. You too. Afternoon class dragged. Malik chopped, stirred, cleaned. Thoughts raced. Years lost flashed back. After New Jersey imploded, he'd loaded Naomi into the truck, drove west, Colorado mountains, freight hauling, long hauls, lonely roads. Money trickled in, then flowed. He bought a small rig, named it after Naomi, built a company 1 contract at a time, failed once, bankruptcy papers, slept in the cab again, started over. Washington State next, bigger contracts, logistics firm, steady cash, house, school for Naomi, stability. Success came quiet. No fanfare, just grinding days, but nights empty. No Ayanna, no warmth. He'd Googled her once, found the restaurant closed, lease dispute. Heart sank, wondered if he contributed. Now here, facing her, facing himself. Class ended. Reggie showed up, helped pack supplies, lingered. Dinner later? He asked Ayanna. She glanced at Malik. Busy. Reggie's jaw tightened, left. Naomi tugged Malik's sleeve. She's picking you. Don't read into it. Outside, rain started. Heavy drops. They ran to the SUV, laughing. First real laugh in days. Hotel, dinner delivery. Naomi asleep early. Malik pulled out his laptop, searched Reggie, Reginald Tate, local businessman, restaurants, community board member, married, divorced last year, photos with Ayanna at events, charity galas, smiling, not just protective, interested. Phone buzzed. Ayanna's number. We need to talk, alone, tomorrow. Park by the center, noon. Malik's pulse jumped. Progress? Trap? He typed back. I'll be there. Sleep evaded. What did she want? Forgiveness? Closure? To tell him to leave for good? Morning, dropped Naomi at school, drove to the park, bench under oak trees, leaves crunching underfoot, ducks quacked on the pond. Ayanna arrived on foot, jeans, hoodie, no makeup, real, she sat. Space between them. Reggie's not a threat. Good to know. He's helping with center funding, that's all. Malik nodded. Why'd you ask me here? Need to know why you really came back. Already told you. Regret. Love. She shook her head. Not enough. What do you want? You. Simple, honest. Her breath caught. Can't just pick up where we left off. I know. Kids' voices from the playground nearby, swings creaking, laughter. I waited, Ayanna said quietly. 2 years, phone calls, messages. Drove to your old place, empty. Guilt stabbed. I'm sorry. Then silence. I expanded the restaurant. Thought maybe you'd come back. Lease fell through. Lost everything. Reggie helped me rebuild. Debt? Still paying. Malik leaned forward. I can help. No. Sharp. Not money. Then what? Time. Presence. Like you promised. He took her hand. She led him. Warm. Familiar. Park peaceful. Ducks swam lazy circles, then tires crunched gravel. Reggie pulled up, got out, face thunderous, saw their hands, stopped dead. "You gotta be kidding me," Reggie growled. Iana dropped Malik's hand, stood. "Reggie, not now." "He's here?" After I warned him, Malik rose slow, ready. Reggie advanced. "I told you to leave her alone." "She invited me." "Lies? Truth?" Reggie balled fists. Police siren whooped once in distance. Reggie froze. Cops patrolling nearby. He backed off, pointed at Malik. "This ain't over." Drove away, tires squealing. Iana turned to Malik, pale. "You need to go. For real this time." But her eyes said something else. Fear, not of him, of losing control. Malik walked away, heart heavy. Reggie wasn't bluffing, and the man he'd become might not handle prison for assault. Phone rang as he reached his car. Naomi's school. "Your daughter got in a fight. Come now." Malik slammed the SUV into gear and peeled out of the park. Tires screeched on wet pavement. Naomi in a school fight? His quiet, observant daughter? Impossible. The middle school loomed ahead. He double-parked in the pickup lane, ignoring honks, burst through office doors. Principal Hayes sat behind a desk cluttered with papers. Naomi perched on a plastic chair, ice pack pressed to her cheek, bruise blooming purple. "What happened?" Malik demanded. Principal steepled fingers. "Your daughter punched Jaden Wilkins." Malik blinked. "Jaden? From the cooking class?" Naomi glared at the floor, silent. "He said some things," she muttered. "About?" Malik pressed. "Doesn't matter." Principal cleared throat. "Jaden claimed Naomi started it, called her names. Something about her dad being a deadbeat." Malik's blood boiled. "Where's Jaden's parents?" "Left already. First offense for both. Warnings issued." Malik knelt by Naomi, touched her chin gently. "You okay?" She pulled away. "Fine." Ice pack slipped, cut above her eye, shallow but bloody. In the car, silence thick. "Talk to me." "Jaden said you were going to run again. Leave Ayana like you left her mom. Said his aunt works at the center and told him everything." Malik gripped the wheel white-knuckled. "Reggie's doing? Poisoning kids?" "He doesn't know me." "But everyone else does. You're the guy who vanished." Words landed heavy. Truth hurts. Hotel bathroom. Malik cleaned her cut with steady hands. Alcohol stung. Naomi winced but held still. "Why'd you really fight him?" Malik asked. "He grabbed my backpack, wouldn't let go. Called me a liar's kid." Malik bandaged the cut, hugged her tight. "I'm not running." "Prove it." He would. Next morning, center kitchen. Iana chopping garlic, eyes widened at Naomi's bruise. "What happened?" "School," Naomi said, shrugged. "No big deal." Iana shot Malik a look, pulled him aside. "Reggie?" "Maybe." She sighed, rubbed temples. "He's escalating." Kids arrived, class started, surface normal, but air electric. Halfway through, door banged open. Reggie stormed in, face red. "We need to talk, now." Iana set knife down. "Not here." "Outside, you and me." Malik stepped forward. She said, "Not here." Reggie jabbed finger. "This don't concern you." "Everything you do concerns her." Kids watched wide-eyed, Naomi tense. Iana grabbed Reggie's arm, pulled him toward the door. 5 minutes. They stepped out. Voices rose immediately. Muffled through glass. Malik paced. Naomi touched his arm. "Let her handle it." Door flew open. Iana back alone. Reggie gone. "He's done helping," she said flat. "Told the board I'm unstable, dating exes who abandon people." Kids murmured. Iana clapped hands. "Focus, stir the pot." Class limped on. Malik peeled potatoes. Thoughts raced. Reggie cutting funding. Center closes. After, kids gone. Just 3 of them. Iana sank onto stool. Exhausted. "He's got connections. Could tank us." Malik sat opposite. "I'll fund it." "No." "Why?" "Pride. Same reason you left." "Touché." Naomi piped up. "Dad's company does logistics. He can get donations, trucks, supplies." Iana eyed Malik. "Can you?" "Yeah." She nodded slow. "Start small. Prove it." Deal struck. Hope flickered. Evening walk, 3 of them along Park Path. Ducks quacked. leaves crunched. Naomi skipped ahead, chattered about recipes. Iana beside Malik, shoulders brushed. Why'd you really vanish? Full story time. He told her everything. Job loss, Naomi's illness, pride choking him, truck life, failures, slow climb. She listened. No interruption. Hand found his, squeezed. Why didn't you call? She whispered. Thought you hated me. Never hated. Hurt, angry, lonely. I'm sorry. She stopped. Faced him. Prove it now. Leaned in, lips met soft. First kiss in 9 years, sweet tentative, real. Naomi whooped from ahead. Finally! Laughter broke tension. Walked on. Family almost. SUV, Naomi buckled in, grinning. Malik's phone buzzed, unknown, answered. Heavy breathing, then, you think a kiss fixes 9 years? She'll see. You're nothing. Click. Reggie again, watching, waiting. Malik looked around, dark street empty. But eyes everywhere. Home, hotel safe, Naomi asleep. Iana texted, see you tomorrow, heart emoji. Malik smiled. Then door knocked, hard. Peered through peephole. Reggie, hotel security uniform? No, alone. Opened door crack, chain on. What? Reggie smirked, held up envelope. Something for Iana, pass it on. Shoved through crack. Malik caught it. Envelope thick, sealed. Iana's name scrawled. Reggie leaned close. Read it if you dare. Changes everything. Walked away whistling. Malik shut door, heart hammering. Envelope burned his hand. Open it or deliver blind. Naomi stirred. Dad? Go back to sleep. He sat on bed, stared at envelope. Whatever inside, it was the bomb Reggie planted, and it was about to explode. Malik's thumb hovered over the envelope flap. Paper crinkled under pressure. Reggie's handwriting jagged on front. Iana, truth you need. One rip and everything changes, or stays buried. Naomi mumbled from the couch, eyes half open. What's that? Nothing. Go back to sleep. She sat up, rubbed eyes. Liar, gimme. No. He pulled it away. Adult stuff. Naomi crossed arms. Everything's adult stuff with you. Just open it. Temptation gnawed. What if Reggie lied about Iana, dirt from their past? Door rattled. Faint. Then silence. Naomi jumped. Someone's out there. Malik peered through peephole, empty hall. Probably ice machine. He pocketed envelope. Bed, now. She flopped down. You're scared. Was he? Reggie played games, psychological warfare. Morning, center kitchen hummed, kids diced peppers, laughter cut tension. Iana smiled at Malik, winked, heat rose in his chest. Naomi chopped celery beside Kiara, normal. Good. Mid-prep, Reggie sauntered in, casual, carrying produce boxes. Morning, he said. Set boxes on counter. Donations. Kids cheered. Iana stiffened. Thanks. Reggie unpacked. Avocados, tomatoes, lingered near her. Talked to board, funding safe. Her eyes narrowed. What did you tell them? Truth. You need stability. Malik gripped knife handle, too tight. Naomi watched everything, quiet, eyes darting, class rolled, tacos today, shells crisped in oven, cheese grated fine, break, kids outside playing tag, adults cleaned. Reggie cornered Iana at sink, voice low. That envelope? Malik froze mid-wipe. Iana turned. You sent it to the hotel? Needed to be sure he saw it first. Naomi slipped back inside, hid behind pantry door, ears perked. What is it? Iana hissed. Read later, alone. Reggie glanced at Malik, smirked, walked out. Iana's hand shook drying dishes, looked at Malik. You open it? Not yet. Don't. Why? Trust me. Naomi emerged, face pale. I heard everything. Malik knelt. What did you hear? Uncle Reggie, he's not just helping. He wants to marry her, said Dad's poison. Iana's head snapped up. Uncle? Naomi clamped mouth, eyes wide, slip. Iana grabbed Naomi's shoulders, gentle. What do you mean, uncle? He's my uncle, Naomi whispered. Mom's brother. World tilted. Malik stared. What? Naomi backed up, tears welling. Mom told me before she died, Uncle Reggie, family. Iana gasped, hand to mouth. Reggie is her brother? Malik's mind reeled. Reggie, protective because family, not rival? Why didn't you say? Malik demanded. You never asked, Naomi yelled. You were always working, gone. Truth bomb. Kids saw everything. Iana paced. Explains the threats, the pushback. Door banged. Reggie back. Face storm cloud. Kids told me, he growled. Naomi knows. Naomi shrank behind Malik. Reggie advanced. You told her? About us? Malik stepped forward. Back off! Family secret exploded. Reggie, Naomi's uncle. Iana caught in crossfire. She's my niece, Reggie. Reggie snarled. You abandoned her too. I didn't know. Liar. Shouts overlapped. Kitchen chaos. Pots rattled. Naomi covered ears. Screamed. Stop! Silence dropped. All eyes on her. Tears streamed. I remember you, she said to Reggie. Truck rides. Candy. Before Mom died. Reggie softened. Reached out. She flinched. You left too, Naomi said. After the funeral. Said you'd be back. Never did. Reggie recoiled. Hit. Iana stared. Pieces clicking. You both ran. Accusation hung. Naomi bolted. Ran to back door. Slammed out. Malik chased. Naomi! Found her behind dumpster. Sobbing. Knees to chest. He sat beside. Arm around. I'm sorry. Why everyone lies? Don't know. She leaned head on shoulder. I like Iana. Don't want her gone too. Won't happen. Inside, voices argued. Reggie and Iana. Malik peeked. Reggie waved arms. He destroys everything. He's changed. Has he? Door creaked. Iana stepped out. Saw them. Softened. Naomi, she said. Knelt. I'm sorry you got caught. Naomi wiped nose. You knew? About Uncle Reggie? Iana nodded. Found out last year. Why he helped me. Does he hate Dad? No. Hurts, like me. Naomi hugged her. Tight. Malik watched. Heart full. Broken. Reggie appeared in doorway. Silent. Watching. Pulled out phone. Dialed. Spoke low. Then looked straight at Malik. Mouth moved. No sound. Police. Malik's blood froze. Reggie calling cops? On what? Naomi pulled away. What's happening? Sirens wailed distant, closing fast. Reggie smirked, hung up, walked inside. Cops coming, and Reggie lit the fuse. Sirens grew louder. Blue lights flashed through trees. 2 cop cars screeched into the community center lot. Malik pulled Naomi behind the dumpster tighter. Stay down. Iana crouched beside them, face pale. What's he done? Reggie stepped out front door, hands up, calm, pointed toward back alley. Officers approached. Badges glinted. Radios crackled. Malik's mind raced. Assault charge? From the park? Reggie set him up. Malik Adiemi? Lead cop called. Voice boom. No hiding. He stood, hands visible. That's me. Naomi whimpered. Iana squeezed her hand. Cops circled. Step forward, slow. Malik complied. What's this about? Assault complaint. Reggie Tate. Says you threatened him. Lies. Reggie nodded from doorway. He grabbed me, yelled, witnesses inside. Kids? Chaos. Iana stood. Officers, that's not... Ma'am, stay back. Handcuffs clicked cold on Malik's wrists. Tight, humiliating. Naomi cried out. Dad! Pushed into squad car. Door slammed. World shrank to cage. Station. Processed. Mugshot. Fingerprints. Holding cell. Concrete bench. Hard. Hours dragged. Reggie pressed charges. Restraining order pending. Lawyer arrived. Public defender. Tired eyes. First offense? Yeah. Plea. Community service, maybe. Not pleading. Suit yourself. Phone call. Dialed Iana. Voicemail. Tell Naomi I'm okay. Love her. Hung up. Regret choked. Cellmate snored. Malik paced 3 steps, back and forth. Memories assaulted. Night he'd left Iana. Warehouse shift ended. Foreman called him in. Cuts, Malik. Sorry. Rent due. Naomi's cough worsening. Clinic bill unpaid. Walked past restaurant. Smell hit. Jerk chicken. Rice. Home. Pride stopped him. Leaned on wall. Weak. Door opened. Iana. Come in. Sat at back table. She brought plate. Ate like starving man. Talked. Dreams. Naomi's future. His failures. Rain started, moved to crates outside. Love confession, promise. Phone buzzed then. Unknown, ignored. Next days blurred, avoided shop, pride wall grew, packed truck, Naomi asleep, drove into night, now cell, same pride trapped him, door clanged, guard, out, someone bailed you, freed, signed papers, stepped into lobby, Ayanna waited, alone, eyes red, Naomi? Safe, with Kiara's mom. How? Sold my car, guilt stabbed, don't need, shut up, drove her beater to hotel, silent ride. Inside, Naomi launched, hugged tight. Dad! Cried together. Ayanna watched. Arms crossed, table, envelope sat, Reggie's bomb. Ayanna picked it up, tore open, pages thick, read silent, face drained color. What? Malik asked. She handed sheets, handshake. Malik read. Letters, Ayanna's handwriting, dated years ago. Malik, day 47. No word. Naomi, okay? Miss you. Month 6, restaurant slow, thinking of you. Year 2, sold shop, starting over. Where are you? Hundreds, never sent. Poured heart, pain, hope fading. Last one, done waiting, goodbye. Malik's throat closed, weight crushed. You wrote these? Every night, after he ghosted, never mailed, kept in box. Why show me now? Reggie found them. In my attic, used them. Bastard, Ayanna paced. He said you'd destroy me again. Proof. Didn't send? No. Burned copies, maybe. Rage boiled. Reggie weaponized her pain. Naomi read over shoulder, gasped. Auntie, Ayanna knelt. Kept hoping. Naomi hugged. Still love him? Question hung. Ayanna looked at Malik. Eyes searched. Door pounded. Reggie opened. He stood there, copies in hand. Knew you'd read, Reggie sneered. She's mine now. Ayanna snatched papers, tore shreds. Get out, Reggie laughed. Too late, board knows, funding cut. Lied. Phone rang. Ayanna answered, listened, face fell. True, she whispered. Hung up. No more donations, center doomed. Reggie turned. Choose, Ayanna, him or us. Walked out. Silence deafened. Malik stood. I'll fix funding. No more fixing. Then what? She grabbed keys. Drive. Now. SUV, 3 of them. Drove to Reggie's office, lit windows, night, parked, confrontation time. Inside, Reggie at desk, smug. Ayanna burst in. Resign from board, or I tell everyone you stole from center. What? Reggie paled. You wouldn't. Try me. Secret? Theft? Malik tensed. Back up. Reggie slumped. Fine, but he goes. Decide myself. Left, Reggie broken. Outside, rain again, full circle. Naomi shivered. Did we win? Ayanna hugged her. Maybe. Malik watched, hope fragile. Phone buzzed, cops. New evidence, charges dropped, relief. But Ayanna's face darkened, pulled out phone, text from unknown. She's lying. Ask about the baby. Malik froze. Baby? What baby? Malik stared at Ayanna's phone screen. Text glowed harsh. She's lying. Ask about the baby. Our baby? Rain hammered SUV roof. Naomi peered over seat. What baby? Ayanna snatched phone, blacked out. Nothing. Malik's voice low. Explain. Drive. No, now. She met his eyes. Storm inside hers. Not here. Hotel, room tense. Naomi paced. Malik blocked door. Ayanna sank onto bed. Talk, he said. Deep breath. After you left, I found out. Pregnant. World stopped. Yours, she whispered. Naomi gasped. I have a sibling? Ayanna shook head. Miscarried. Month 5. Malik's knees buckled. Sat hard. You didn't call. Called 100 times. You blocked me. Guilt tsunami. His pride killed their child. Why Reggie no? Helped me through it. Hospital. After. Family tied deeper. Naomi hugged Ayanna. Sorry. Tears flowed. Group hug. Broken family mending. Morning, center fight, board meeting, Reggie resigned, but damage done, funds short. Malik called contacts, logistics firms, donated trucks, supplies, checks cleared, board relented, center saved, celebration dinner, kitchen table, tacos again, laughter real. Reggie showed, sheepish, envelope returned originals. Sorry, he muttered, protected family. Malik nodded, understood. Truce fragile. Naomi beamed. Bridge between all. But Iana pulled Malik aside. Money helped. But presence matters. I know. Stay? Question loaded. Thought of Colorado. Business. Life built. Naomi's face. Ayana's hand in his. Yeah. Kiss. Deep. Promise sealed. Days blurred. Classes. Dinners. Healing. Reggie backed off. Helped quietly. One night. Bed. Ayana beside. Promise again? When I'm ready. Not rich. Ready. She smiled. Slept. Malik stared ceiling. Piece hard won. Phone buzzed. Unknown video. Clicked. Grainy footage. Ayana, young, with another man, arguing. Then kiss. Date stamped after Malik left. Heart sank. Reggie? Text followed. She didn't wait. Your turn to run? Trap sprung. Trust tested again. Would he stay? Or history repeat? Malik's thumb froze on the video timestamp. Date burned into brain. 3 months after he'd driven away. Iana kissing some guy in a bar parking lot. Tears on her face. Desperate. Text below. Told you. She moved on fast. Reggie. Final play. Bed creaked. Iana stirred. Can't sleep? He killed screen. Set phone face down. Just thinking. She propped on elbow. Hair tousled. Eyes soft in lamplight. About? Us, this. Good thoughts? Mostly. Silence stretched, comfortable, earned. Morning light crept through blinds. Naomi knocked. Breakfast? Kitchen. Pancakes sizzled, laughter, family sounds. Reggie arrived, tool belt on. Fixing the oven, free, grudging thanks, truce held. After, Malik cornered him outside. The video? Reggie shrugged. Truth. She dated, hurt, needed someone. Why show me? Test. You run again? Didn't, Reggie nodded. Respect flickered. Good. Center thrived. Malik's trucks delivered, funds steady, kids beamed. One evening. Park bench, 3 of them. Ducks quacked lazy. Naomi kicked pebbles. We staying? Malik looked at Iana, hand in hers. Warm, sure. Yeah, she squeezed. No more some days? Now. Naomi grinned, ran to pond, fed ducks. Iana leaned head on shoulder. Love delayed, love earned. Kiss soft, sealed, no fairy tale, real, scarred, strong. Malik's phone buzzed final time. Reggie text, welcome to family, deleted, unneeded. They walked home, together, present, promise rewritten not in wealth and showing up.